Well, hey folks, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be going over some neat stuff that I got at the LCCA convention that I went to in 23. Is that right? Yeah, 23. Yeah, 2023. Sorry, had to check. Haha. It's the, I got a lot of neat stuff. It was a good time. Yeah, by the way, sorry, completely distracted because I had to reshoot all this. You're going to probably see some outfit changes and some differences throughout because I am having to piece this together with some new footage that I'm shooting. Because for reasons I don't understand, the camera decided everything I shot over the weekend that I was trying to edit last night out of raw footage, the camera decided to turn the autofocus off. I don't know why. I had to turn it back on. I had to learn how to turn it back on. That's why I know I didn't turn it off, so whatever. Technology, you gotta love it. So, we're gonna go over a couple neat things I got picked up over there. I'll talk about them a little bit at the table, and then I'm gonna do a close-up on a couple items because it's kind of hard to see. But, oh, I saw I got a couple more subscribers joined up. Welcome. Oh, and also, the local Lionel club here in St. Louis, Keith, I think it was Keith. Hi, Keith. A couple people discovered these videos that are in the group, so, howdy ho. So, yeah, let's hop over there and we'll take a look at some stuff, and then we'll be back here and do a little outro. All right, so welcome to, I don't remember which take this is. As I said earlier, unfortunately I had to dispose of a lot of footage, so we're redoing this. So let's talk about some of the cool stuff that I got at the LCCA convention when I went. Let's see, where to begin? Oh, you know what? Let's start right here. Okay, so one of the big draws, since this was in Concord, right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, as a lot of folks know, Lionel is from Concord, North Carolina, and they were doing factory tours, as they called them. I'm not trying to rag on them, but it really is more of a warehouse. But they do a little bit of printing there, because this is one of those box cars they print in-house. I got a couple of these. I don't have one behind me right now to show you another one. But anyways, yeah, they printed these up for us right as we were leaving. And then they got them to us that night or the next day. I can't remember. I think it was maybe the next day. But that was pretty cool. I got to see the machines that do the printing on these. One is red and one is yellow, so they're called Bert and Ernie. I'll never forget that. But yeah, it was a really good time. I'm really glad I went, and we got a little box car. Let's see, there's the convention. Got the office there. I don't know if that's gonna focus. Don't worry, I got some close-ups I'm gonna do later. Try to make sure I cover up that guy a little bit, because, and then on that side, that's me behind Howard Hitchcock's desk. Everybody got to get their photo behind it for a second, and then get a chance to talk to him, a couple of other guys. Like I said, it was a really good time. I enjoyed it. I got to see a lot of neat stuff. They still do have a couple interesting little knickknacks around. So let's get that out of the way. Move on from the tour, which I was on tour group 6B. If anybody else was on 6B, hi. I also got this really cool flag, which I'll do, which was in the, hoping I can put in the thumbnail if I can get a good photo of it, and then I'll do a little close-up later with some of the footage that is usable. But just to explain this flag real quick, so if you're into NASCAR, you're probably aware of the fact that a lot of NASCAR teams are based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. As a matter of fact, Lionel Racing. Oop, there we go, Lionel Racing. Which I think is another reason why round 2 and them are going to do well together. But anyways, this flag was hanging in front of the Motor Speedway there in Charlotte during the convention. And that will lead me to my... Well, actually, let me finish this up first. So this flag, they took it down and they brought it back to the convention and they did a silent auction. And I never win these things, but I actually won this one. I paid $225 for this thing, which, I don't know. As far as I'm aware, I think this is the only one that got loose. So I don't know. It's definitely was used, but it's pretty cool. And like I said, I don't think they ever cut any of these loose other... High Temptations. Hey, come on. Come on. All right. Cat cameo number 2. How exciting. So anyways, where was I? Oh yeah. So yeah, this was flying in front of the Motor Speedway. And I actually got to see these flying in front of there because that'll lead into the next story. Get this out of the way. And like I said, I'll show this off a little bit better later. But let's get you out of here. Because the other neat thing, and don't worry, I will... oh, you know what? I will have to take this out of there to show this off. So this was a pretty neat little surprise that I don't think anybody was expecting. Let me see if I can pop this out of here in a timely fashion while we're on video. It seems like it's going okay. So, as a lot of folks may or may not know, Lionel also does the NASCAR collectibles, the die-cast stuff. Little Camaro here. Oh, come on, autofocus, please, please. No, don't look at my face, look at the car. Ha-ha, success. All right, so that was an exclusive car, deco, and everything that they did. And yes, there's an autograph on the windshield. I will get to that in a minute. Sorry, it already popped off and it's looking at me. But yeah, this is a really nice little model. It's very nice. Put that right there. So one of the things I signed up for at the convention was to go up to the racetrack and have dinner there. Now, I'm into cars, but NASCAR circle track is not my thing. But that's besides the point. We're here to talk about trains. Sort of. But we got there, and that flag was hanging out front. I was like, oh, that's cool. We go in, and they had us go into the big fancy restaurant, and we got in there, and we came over on tour buses. So we get in there, and they go, hey, we gotta wait for somebody. And we're like, well, we all came on the tour buses. Like, we're all here. So we're waiting, and then I'm sitting where I can kind of see the elevator foyer that comes into the restaurant. And all of a sudden, there's this huge commotion out in the hallway there. And the next thing I know, here's this really tall guy with this giant cowboy hat with all these feathers out the front. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That's Richard Petty. Huh. Not what I was expecting, not who I was expecting at all for a special guest at a train convention. But there he was, and he was a really cool guy. I can honestly say that he was probably... He's definitely up there. I don't know if I'd say he's the nicest celebrity I ever met, but he was definitely one of the nicest. And he was there with his grandkids. He brought his grandkids for dinner. And he came in, and it was basically like, hey, let me and the grandkids eat. I'll chase them off to go play later, and then you can come up and talk to me and stuff. it was really funny. It was really cool. Really nice guy. And then, because we didn't know we were getting these little cars, and then they started handing these out, and then it's like, oh, that's why we got little cars. So that is Richard Petty's autograph on there. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, what do we get into next? Oh, well, let's talk about the thing that really got me excited for this convention, which I had no idea. This was another fun surprise. So, a lot of you are probably familiar with Angela Trotta Thomas and her artwork as the official painter, I guess, of Lionel. So, while I was there, she was there. I thought that was pretty cool. And while I was there, on the sales room floor for a minute, I saw her booth. I didn't see her, so I didn't know she was there yet. But I believe it was her husband was manning the booth while she was gone, and we got talking. And I looked over and I saw somebody was selling a bunch of the different boxcars that have her artwork printed on them, which I believe these are also ones that they make, or not make, but print there at the facility. Let's see if we can get into focus, because her autograph is right there. I got this boxcar and I ran it back over because he said she would be back soon, and I got her to sign it. And I was like, yay, how cool is that? I just thought that was the neatest thing on the planet, and I was just so excited. You know, it's a Hudson, some great artwork, it's a nice boxcar. I was a happy lady. And while I was talking to them, I just could not take my eyes off of that. And original art is not cheap. I'm not trying to brag. This is more of me just saying this stuff is expensive, and I get it. But while I was there talking to her husband, and then eventually her, and they noticed that I kept eyeballing this piece, which I'll do a close-up with this later. And they're like, well, why don't we try to work out a deal? So they actually cut me a pretty good offer that I will always be grateful for, because there was no way I could have afforded this if they weren't very generous and allowed me to take advantage of a very good discount that they were willing to offer me. So again, I will always be grateful for that. That was very much appreciated. But I just couldn't pass it up. It's got so many of my favorite things. Let's make sure there's no glare. We got a Hudson. We got one of my favorite little Lionel knickknacks. And some nice smoke pellets. And of course, I brought down the 773 down here. Let's see, so we can, oh, it's kind of off screen a little bit, but you know, you get the idea. But yeah, I did have to track down one of these cans. I'll do a little bit of a close-up on that later. Like I said, I wanted to do a little close-up on this guy too. Got very finer here. Come on, there we go. I'm gonna make that out. Yeah, I love that artwork. And let's do a little close-up on these guys. Which, you doing a focus? Hang on a sec, sorry. There we go. Is that not some amazing graphic design? I love that. And then, yeah, that's their smoke pellets. Let's go ahead and I'll show that guy again while I know it's on focus. Yeah, look at that. So cool. So glad I went. Sorry, that's crooked. Oh, there we go. Haha, we got there eventually. Okay, there we go. And here's the flag in all its glory. Sorry about that. So you can get a little more detail in there. But yeah, really cool. Glad I went. I would have to say, if you've never had an opportunity to go to an LCCA convention, well, actually, if you're not even in the LCCA, honestly, it's really worth it. There's a lot of good benefits. It's not very expensive. You get a nice little publication out of it. Sorry, I didn't mean to turn this into a weird little sales pitch, but it's a great group, and the conventions are pretty cool. I'm glad I got to go to one. Probably never be able to afford to go to another one again. But this was a really cool one. And yeah, if, like I said, I'll say it again, if you ever have an opportunity to go to one of these, it is a blast. It's so much fun to be hanging out with like so many other people that are also freaking out about trains. And yeah, it was just a fun experience. I mean, I never would have got to meet Richard Petty, which, you know, not really train themed, but, you know, whatever. Got a cool flag. I got to meet Angela Trotter Thomas, buy some original artwork. Went on some fun tours because we got to ride on a train, and we went down to a museum down there. It was just fun. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, like I said, I would definitely recommend it if you can ever get a chance to go. All right, well, thanks for watching, folks. Like I said, welcome to the new subscribers. Please keep subscribing. Please keep liking, commenting. There goes my baby. Everybody likes the cat. There he goes. Cat cameo. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. I think I hit them all. And happy railroading.